Hey guys, I want to point out before we start the video that we're going to do something different today. We're going to do a top 15 of Pokemon that aren't going to be in Sword and Shield that I believe should have been put in the game, because I saw the decks and these Pokemon were not marked as going to be in the game, which is not okay, so thank you for watching. First up, guys, we got Honedge. The reason I think this Pokemon should have been in the game is because look at it. It's a sword. The games are called Sword and Shield. Its final evolution is Aegislash, which is both a sword and a shield. Sword plus a shield equals Sword and Shield. There you go. That's why I believe this Pokemon should have been put in Sword and Shield, because look at it. It's already a sword. We needed this Pokemon in Sword and Shield because well, look at it. It makes sense. It just makes perfect sense. The next Pokemon on the list is Dratini. I think Dratini should have been put in the game. Dratini and its line should have been put in the game because, well, it was the first ever dragon type. I love Dratini. It's adorable. And that's just me. Not everyone likes Dratini, but I don't know who wouldn't. But don't leave comments. Don't leave mean comments in the comment section, please. And yeah. Next up, we have Bulbasaur. I'm going to say something about two of these Pokemon on the list. This one and the next one. Charizard shouldn't have been put in the game of this one. And Bulbasaur and the next one aren't going to be put in because why put one starter when you could have all three starters? Like in the last generation, you could find them through Island Scan. And that's good. You can't just give Charizard all the love. You got to give love to Bulbasaur and next one was just Squirtle. Again, for the same reason as Bulbasaur. Why put Charizard in the game if you're not going to put Bulbasaur or Squirtle? I mean, Bulbasaur and Squirtle deserve just as much love as Charmander's Charmander and its evolved forms, but you gotta, when you put these, you kind of have to put the evolutions, which is why I'm not mentioning that it's entire line. So, yeah, because you can't have one without the rest of the line. It doesn't work like that. But Squirtle is just, it's not one of my favorites out of the Gen 1 Pokemon, but it's still a good Pokemon. Here's one of my favorites, the Nidoran line. Yes, both Nidoran male and female are going to be on this list. The reason I think Nidoran should be on in the game is because Nidoking is a beast. I know, because I have trained one in the very first games ever because I have them downloaded on my DS. I didn't have the original games on their cartridges, but that's fine. But I've trained a Nidoran all the way up to a Nidoking. That thing, my Nidoking wrecked everybody's team. It was the highest level Pokemon on my team, even higher than my starter. And the reason I think you should put Nidoran female into the game, which is this one, is because even though that Nidorans may seem like they're the same species, they're really not. So that's why they're both on this list, Nidoran male and female. Nidoqueen and Nidoking cannot even breed together, so it doesn't work. So you can't breed those at all, really. There's no breeding in Gen 1, but that's okay. Up next, we got Stunky. The reason I think Stunky should be on this list is because the Stunky line is pretty cool. It was the first ever skunk Pokemon, and we got it in Generation 4. But it's still a decent dark poison type, and it was a combination that has not been seen before. From Generation 4, counting Drapion, but that's a different story. Up next on the list, we have Phantump. The reason I think Phantump should have been put in the game is because Trevenant. I like Trevenant. Trevenant's pretty good. But training up a Phantump to evolve it later is okay, because that would make a Trevenant stronger. I even have a shiny Trevenant in one of my previous games. So yeah, and it's a pretty cool Pokemon, Trevenant. That's why I think it should be put in the game. Up next, we got Bagon. The Bagon and its line, I believe, should have been put in the game because I love Salamence. Come on, guys. What is with you, Game Freak? Gotta start thinking, please. I mean, I get the fact that going to be over 1,000 new Pokemon, which is why we do not need every single Pokemon in the game. It's a problem, and that's why I think it's a good thing that they took out a lot of the Pokemon. Up next, we got Shinx. I think Shinx should be in the game because when you train it up, it gets better. And Luxray is a beast. Just like, for the same reason as Nidoking, I had a Luxray that sweeped everybody's team, okay? Everyone's team in Diamond and Pearl, this thing sweeped through everything's team. Everybody's team. It even sweeped through the champions team like it's nobody's business. It even helped my Houndoom and Platinum take down Garchomp. Up next, we got Murkrow. The reason I think the Murkrow line should be in the game is because ever since they announced Corviknight, which is a Raven, you could clearly tell it's a Raven because it's bigger than Murkrow and Honchkrow, for that matter. Is why not have both a Crow and a Raven in the same game? That makes sense. But even though it's not a pure flying type like it should be, because really, it makes no sense. But now, here's my real complaint. Come on, Game Freak. Why did you not put my boy Houndour and my home slice Houndoom into the game? These guys were boss. I mean, along with Luxray, I had a Houndoom, I have a Houndoom in Platinum version, and my Houndoom and Luxray wrecked everyone's team. They plow through it. They just plow through everybody's teams. It's crazy. And it's the first ever dark fire type, so seriously. And up next, we got Starly. However, the reason I wanted it in the game is because Staraptor's a good Pokemon. I like Staraptor in kind of a physical attacking. When it during its physical attacks, like close combat, those are pretty good. That's why I like Staraptor. So Starly should have been put in the game for its evolutionary line. And Gibble. This is a pseudo-legendary, okay? It has pretty decent stats, and I know because I traded Garchomp. That's how I know it's a pseudo-legendary. Many people may not believe that, but I take it as a pseudo-legendary because of how good its stats really are. And I know because I trained one. And Gibble and its line are just good. It's just real good. And it would work well with Dratini and any other new dragon types that happen to be introduced into Sword and Shield. And the 4 months and 15 days they have. But who's counting? Okay, I admit it, guys. I'm counting. But that's not the point. And the last one on the list is Scatterbug. I like Scatterbug's design, and throughout its entire evolutionary line, which is why I wanted it in here, it looks like a really funny looking caterpillar, but it's pretty decent and stuff. But I like it stat wise. It's pretty quick, actually, not compared to Cutiefly and Ribombee, which are faster, and they're the fastest Pokemon I know of. Aside from Pikachu, but that's a different story. But these are really good Pokemon, guys. This one's a really good Pokemon. I like it. I actually trained one up into a Vivian, and ever since then, I fell in love with this Pokemon because it's pretty good and all that stuff. But these are the Pokemon I really wanted to see in these games, but unfortunately, we're not going to be put in the games. So goodbye, everybody.